love and nothing else. But in the eyes and facial complexion of the man, there's trouble. He looks like a troubled soul, someone who has been struggling through life, and there is, even though there are some traits of compassion, but there is as well as pain. Pain Inesh cannot quite fathom. What is he worried about? What is he struggling with? What is this all about? More and more she gets wonders. She wonders, what is this purpose of this? What is he aiming? What is he looking for? Then Eduardo breaks out, you visited my mother. Now it dawns on Inesh. Now she's fallen from seventh heaven. Now she more and more grasps who this man possibly could be, who this Eduardo possibly could be, who this Estrella is, the son of Estrella Eduardo. What this is all about, and more the smile, the excitement in Inesh's face disappears. She gets stern, somber. What is this all about, Estrella? This episode in her life, the identity theft she went through. In the end, she thought to herself and could soothe herself that she solved the issue, that she told this woman to stop it, even though she would have preferred that the police would have done something and wouldn't have just sent her their way. And she hoped that it would suffice, that her words struck this woman and she would never have to deal with these issues again, because Inesh felt stupid as well as hopeless and helpless. She alone, how could she force someone to stop it? And would they stop it? She had wasted a lot of thought on it, but in the end she could esteem herself that it would be finally over. She told her maybe these identity fraudsters, they would never expect that someone would find out what they are doing behind their back. And once they have been seen, once they have been detected, and once someone makes them aware that they know, that they would immediately stop. Inesh, of course, thought about it, that they probably will not stop stealing the identities of others, but at least she wants them to leave her alone. And now this Eduardo stands in front of her, this attractive man. Ines now again feels this growing disappointment she had with Marco. Maybe this attractive man was deliberately sent her way to swoon her, to turn her head, to attract her, to appeal to her. Maybe they think too that she is a woman, and a lonely woman who craves for male attention. What do these people know about her? What do these people expect her? All these prejudices they have or might not have against her. Is she an open book? Do people actually know that she's struggling? Or does she struggle with male attention at all? How do these people know? Inesh is taken aback. The man looks at her for a while, tries to figure out whether his words made an impression on her, without knowing that Inesh probably doesn't even know the name of his mother. After a while, he continues speaking, trying to pierce the ensued silence. You came to my mother. It is about this issue, Ines, Inesh doesn't like this word, this issue. This issue means a lot to her. Someone stole her identity. This is not an issue. This is something scary, and it is something she always thought illegal. But how the police reacted to all this, she could not believe it. Is this just a collateral issue? A trifle? What is it? She is not aware of it. Your mother stole my identity. Inesh bellows out. In her voice is anger, hatred, of course, and of course the feeling of being diminished. They just thought they could do this. They thought they could just take over her identity and pretend and do whatever they want. There may be a misunderstanding. Response, Eduardo. No, there is no misunderstanding. I got the parking ticket. I got the fee. There is no misunderstanding. My mother apologized. Eduardo is insistent, as if this would be a normal thing, and this is what is bothering Inesh. Her identity was stolen, and this guy in front of her just talks as if it would be a normal thing, as if it would be something. People may have issues with someone parked in your parking lot, or someone left something in the driveway, or a car blocked the entrance of a place. Whatever it is, it all sounds weird to Inesh. What is this guy talking about? And he seems so calm. This is an offense, she thinks to herself. She read the penal code. Identity theft is a serious issue. But this guy talks about misunderstandings and so. And Inesh, she feels hurt of it. And she's scared than more than anyone, that she could get involved with the police, that this could have legal charges, because no matter whether she considers herself as part of America and as an American citizen, you never know how these things in America can go. Things can go south very fast in America, especially when you think that you have the law on your side. She has heard a lot of stories people tell, that in America, the courts, your chances are 50-50 that you get out of there, and that right will be presumed, that law finds its way. You have to be very, very careful. And she doesn't want to get into it. And she heard a lot of stories, people who went broke while trying to pursue justice. She wants to be careful. Her world, her Juan, his future, everything depends on it. Even her future depends on it. She thought to herself after the relationship with Marco went broke, she thought to herself that maybe her life came to an end. That it was the end of her story. It was the end of anything she believed in, the end of a dream, the end of an illusion. And thereafter she didn't know how to continue, what she should do with herself. And the worst thing back then was when she found out that she's pregnant with the child of a guy who did not pay any respect and attention to her. Her life was at a point where she thought that there would be no continuation whatsoever, that it would end. But then, more and more, this little fella, after he was born, and she, up to the eve of his birth, wasn't even sure whether she want to keep him. Inesh, this faithful woman, this Catholic, she was brought up as a Catholic, so therefore abortion was not an option. So she gave birth to the child, but was not sure whether she want to keep him. But then this little fella, this little creature looked at her, held her hand, and it gave her meaning, purpose, the strength to continue. And for him alone, she fights herself. And through him, she lives her own life, her purpose. And this could all be swept away. This could all be taken away by whatever comes to her way. Because in the end, Inesh does not believe that people help each other. People rather hurt each other. Hasn't she seen the worst in human mind so far? According to Inesh, this was the worst in her life. That Marco was not faithful to her, that he derided her, that he diminished her. This was hideous, and she felt like she looked in the abyss of human depravity. So it is a big deal for Inesh that someone stands in front of her, tries to excuse that his mother apparently stole her identity. Inesh wants to wrap this thing up. Her son, Juan, is next to her. He stands next to her mother, looks at this man, this stranger. I want this thing to end. Inesh tells him with a severe voice. She wants to sound resolute. She wants to sound determined, a threat. She wants this to end. She doesn't want to deal with this issue at all. She has better things to do. Her life is in a different path, in a different stage. She's not a criminal. She's not a crook. She thinks to herself. She doesn't want to have to do with criminals. And she knows a lot of them, especially in Mexico. She heard about them, about these fellas who fancy themselves, who like to be gangsters, who think of themselves as not ordinary fellas, but as something special, people who have a special place in society. Inesh knows very well that young fellas who get fed up with life, imagine to be a gangster, a criminal, a drug lord, whatever. They fancy someone they can boast about and therefore crave for attention. She doesn't want to get involved with one of these people, doesn't want to deal with them. That's why she tries to be resolute. She still has the hope that it would end. She still has the hope that once she can convey her discomfort. And of course she thinks to herself that she has to bluff, because in the end she has nothing to threaten this man with. Nothing. Not even the law was willing to act on her behalf. So a lot depends on her words. Inesh more and more realize a lot depends whether she can convince this man that she will take legal actions, that there is a way things could get even worse. I did not call the police, she tells him. Eduardo says, there is a way we can sort this out, as if he didn't hear what Inesh said. What Inesh is trying to say, that she showed mercy, but that she can do things differently. Instead, Eduardo talks about that they are family. I'm from Mexico, and you are from Mexico. We are related, sister. We are akin. No, Inesh retorts. No, Everyone has his own life. I have my own family. I have my own people to deal with. Inesh puts her arm around Juan